Times in recent border patrol history, I made my bones and my reputation on that border. I believe what is happening on the border today is intentional.
We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them.
Our own government is facilitating the absolute destruction of the American immigration system, and I can prove it point by point. I'm unafraid to speak the truth. This is just data-driven and experience-driven.
Hi, my name's Barb Graham, and I'm an attorney at Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee in the Refugee and Immigration Services Program. This is a video about knowing your rights if Immigration and Customs Enforcement approaches you. All people living in the United States, including people who are undocumented, have certain rights under the United States Constitution. If immigration officers, what we sometimes call Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE, come to your workplace, they must have a valid search warrant or the consent of your employer to enter non-public areas. If you are undocumented and immigration officers come to your workplace, be aware of the following. First, do not panic and do not run away. If you are frightened and feel like you need to leave, you can calmly walk toward the exit. If you are stopped, you may ask if you are free to leave. If the officer says no, do not try to exit the building. If you are questioned, you may tell them you want to remain silent. 2. You have the right to remain silent. You do not need to speak to the immigration authorities or answer any questions. If you are asked where you were born or how you entered the United States, you may simply refuse to answer or remain silent. If you choose to remain silent, say so out loud. If they ask you to stand in a group according to your immigration status, you do not have to move. Or you can move to an area that is not designated for any particular group. You may show a Know Your Rights card to an officer that explains that you will remain silent and you wish to speak to a lawyer.
I love getting that, seeing the Catholic Charities attorney give very, very poor advice. Welcome to The Truth with J.J. Carrell. Let me just say this out loud. I am a Catholic. I am proud. I am devout to my faith. I despise the facilitators of my faith, from the Pope to the bishops and the cardinals in between, and for all of those disgusting Catholic Charities people. They are the enemy. It's a battle I deal with constantly, because the enemy, as my enemy in my country, is my government. My enemy in my faith is the leaders of my faith. Let me tell you how this works. Workforce and work site enforcement. I can walk into any business at any time and say, send me to your HR department. It could be a Google. It could be a field work, a farm, cattle ranch, whatever. Show me your I-9s. Show me, please. Everyone here legal? No. Oh, no. Okay, now I'm going to fine you. We did this in the early 90s. We did this. We shut everything down on the border and up a little bit from the border states, from the border up into the interior of the states. We closed it all down. And people were so happy. You know who the people that are the happiest? You know the people that were wave at us and say thank you? You know who those were? Those were the legal immigrants. Mm-hmm. Do you know that Chavez, the illegal alien saint of illegal aliens, because his daughter co-opted his name and everything when he had dementia like Joe Biden, and kind of just paraded him around. Cesar Chavez was a adamant anti-illegal alien. Do you know that he was one of the first Minutemen? Do you know that he took his biggest and strongest people that worked on the farms, and they would roam the border and beat the living crap out of illegal aliens and toss them across the border? Do you know that Cesar Chavez used to go down to the INS building in San Diego and demand that they enforce raids on certain farms along the border? Did you know that? Why? Why would Cesar Chavez do that to his own people? Su familia. No. His family was legal residents. And he'd like to have his union of farmhands get paid proper wage. And illegal aliens would come in and do it for half the cost, driving the wage down and thus keeping his people in perpetual poverty on the lowest rungs of society. And that's what's happening today, is you're taking legal immigrants, putting them here. They're working all the subpar jobs, trying to bust their hump to get up the economic ladder, but they keep getting their legs kicked out from under them because illegal aliens will come in and work for $2, $3, $5, $7 an hour less than them. And then you have people like Catholic Charities, and please, let's not even get into the nuances of, well, Catholic Charities isn't tied to the Catholic Church. Okay, let me spend a few minutes just to go through that lie, okay? Every Catholic Charities grouping, if you will, like in the state, or if it was like a bi-state, you know that a bishop is tied to it? A Catholic bishop is tied? Why is a Catholic bishop tied to Catholic Charities? Because the money's flowing from Catholic Charities to the Catholic Church. Do you think the Catholic Church would allow any organization to take their trademark name Catholic and use it? You really think that's going to happen? Let's go back to this attorney that's reading her script. You know what I used to do if somebody handed me something that I know my rights pamphlets? There wasn't a garbage can like right near, because I hate to litter. I'd just throw it. They'd hand it to me, and I'd go, turn around, homie. You're under arrest, and don't you dare run. I will chase you down, and I will make you submit. You'll be skidding across that concrete. I don't need your permission. Here's the beauty of it. We're not police officers. I don't need probable cause. I need mere suspicion. I can just come up to you and say, hello. And then if you don't answer, or you answer in broken English or whatever, your clothes, the way you look, the way you stand, the way you look at me, frightened, bam. That's all I need. Here we go. You don't want to say anything? You want to stand there like a mute? You're under arrest, Mr. Mute. And I'm going to put you through the database, and lo and behold, you're a prior deported alien. You're going back to where you want. But, sir, officer, the stupid Karen that's an attorney told me that it would be all okay. She lied. They all lied to you. And why are religious organizations tied to NGOs that are telling people to ignore federal law in the United States of America? Do you know what that's called? That's called a felony. 8 U.S.C. 1324. You are aiding and abetting. You are facilitating and hiding. You are concealing. All of these NGOs need to be cut off right now. And you say, well, JJ, the NGOs, the Catholic Charities, I'm sure they're using their money from the Catholic Church. Okay, I'm going to go through some numbers with you right now. And remember that there are multiple major NGOs working the immigration at the trough, gorging themselves at the trough. Catholic Charities is not alone. Lutheran Family Services, Jewish Family Services, United Way, Red Cross, MVM. Gosh, I can just go on and on and on. Let's just focus on Catholic Charities because I'm a Catholic, and they are now the leader in this abuse. How much money did Catholic Charities get from the federal government from 2009 to the end of 24 under Joe Biden? $5.2 billion with a B. Under Joe Biden's 4 years, out of that 5.2, well, they more than doubled all their money at 2.9 billion. And that's just off of USAspend.gov. We have no We don't know where the other monies come from, but it's more than 5.2 billion. But let's just use 5.2 billion. Why does the Catholic Church need Catholic charities to take handouts from the federal government of 5.2 billion? Well, up until about 2024, the Catholic Church has already outlaid over $5 billion for all the sexual abuses of all the priests they shipped across the United States of America, trying to hide them, trying to hide the child rapists that wear the robes and teach us about God's word every Sunday. And that ran all the way up to the head bishops in America, to the cardinals in America, to the Pope. Rotten to the core. Do you know how many victims it is to reach $5 billion in damages? That $5 billion is not including the lawyer fees. You might as well add another billion and a half for lawyers, maybe $2 billion. $5 billion just to pay off the people that were raped. So it's very coincidental that at the same time they're raping children and needing money, they utilize the laundry service, the money laundering service of Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities has been a bane in my existence since I got on the board troll and figured out, I was like, Catholic Charities, that must be a great organization. Oh my gosh. Nope. Don't, and let's not sit here and just bash the Catholic. I'm from the Deep South and the Baptists, the Lutheran, the Episcopals, the Jews. They all, big churches, small churches, they're all taking money from the federal government to facilitate the mass invasion of illegal aliens for the last 4 years and forever. Donald Trump must go into the NGO trough and just turn it over. It ends immediately. That is how the federal government has moved 30 million people in 4 years. The NGOs are the engine in the car. If you take the engine out, that car is not going anywhere. Nowhere. Catholic Charities is tied to international Catholic Charities. All of highest Jewish Family Services, Lutheran Family Services, United Way, all of those are international organizations. You have international organizations run by Soros and run by all these other people that hate America, are ruining America, and we're paying for it. We are paying for, or we were paying for our suicide. And we were paying people covered in the cloak of God. In the cloak of God, using God's name. Let's listen to Tom Homan as he talks about what Pope Francis. See, Pope Francis came out, and there's a lot of Catholics, me included, he's illegitimate. It's interesting. He comes in the same time as another illegitimate world leader. It's amazing. You have President Reagan comes in the same time that the Saint Pope John Paul II comes in, and Margaret Thatcher. You have alignment of three capitalists that believe in freedom of choice, freedom of religion, the sanctity of marriage, the sanctity of life. And then you go and you look at all the leaders, Trudeau, but mainly let's look at the two most powerful men in the world. Joe Biden, a Catholic, that is a joke and a lie. And Pope Francis. Both commie social thugs. Both make money off the trough of stealing, grefting. Both are in transgender ideology, craziness, global warming. They're all aligned. You think that is by happenstance? Do you actually think that this all happened just like the Big Bang Theory, like there's no God, it just kind of happened. There are people inside my faith that believe that he is the death of trying to destroy the Catholic Church. Absolutely. I'm one of them. I don't follow him. He's not infallible. That garbage, that everything he says is from God. Give me a break. I'm not a moron. Stop talking to me like I'm an idiot. Let's listen to Tom Homan when he gets asked a question about Pope Francis, talking about how we are immoral, how America is wrong, how Donald Trump is a disgrace because of the immigration policies. And before we go into this, just know what branch, if you will, of the Catholic Church. He's under the Jesuit branch. They're extremely questionable group. He's excommunicated priests that have tried to show the lies and the deceit that he has created within his own church. Time will show it. Time will show exactly what's happened. Without a shadow of a doubt, time will show it for who he is. I don't have an article with me, but before we go into Tom Homan, there was an article. There was a gentleman, a bishop named Strickland, that was, in all intents and purposes, deflocked, stripped of everything. He was a bishop, I believe in Texas. I could be wrong, though. And he just posted, a priest. The frontline guys are not the problem. The frontline priest wrote a post and threw Strickland because he can't post it because he'll get from the 90% of the bishops are Democrats. Let that sit for a second. And what this priest said, he says, we need a Donald Trump in the form of a new pope that's going to come in and eradicate the disease out of the Vatican and up the ranks and just destroy the system and clean it out. There's a major push inside the Catholic Church for this. This is personal because I am Catholic. My whole life, I love the Catholic schools. I love my faith. I love my doctrine. I love everything about it. And yet here we are. Just like I love my country, but I know my government is corrupt, immoral, a cesspool of sin, just like the Catholic Church. Let's play Tom Homan, please.
I want to ask one final question. The Pope this week said that it's a disgrace what we're now doing with this new government, deporting all of these people. We've got, obviously there's going to be a lot of media searching for the sad stories here, trying to turn public opinion against this operation. What's your message to the American people as you guys do this work?
Well, let me give a message to the Pope. I'm a lifelong Catholic. I was born Catholic. I've been through Catholic doctrine. Look, he only concentrates on fixing the Catholic Church, first of all. He's got big problems there. And in the Vatican, they have a wall around the Vatican. If you illegally enter the Vatican, the crime is serious. You'll be charged with a serious crime, be jailed.
Yeah.
So he can protect the Vatican where he lives. He can build a wall where he lives. Where American people are not allowed that? No. Securing the border saves lives. He needs to understand that. When we secure the border, when less people come, less women get raped by the cartel, less children die in the river, less Americans die from fentanyl overdoses. He ought to stick to the Catholic Church and fix that. That's a mess.
That's exactly right. And we did the details on the wall that's around the Vatican, and it's even nicer than Trump's wall. For as much as Trump likes his wall, the wall around the Vatican is really, really impressive.
The wall around the Vatican is about 40 plus feet high. So who are the people that the Pope and his cardinals and his bishops and a lot of his priests, what do they want? Who are they trying to save? I think that's important to ask that question. Who are they trying to save? Let's listen to this gentleman give a speech. And he just kind of lays it out. Who are these people in America?
According to the Department of Justice, 1 in 5 federal prisoners is now an alien. And although many of them are in prison because they committed immigration offenses, many more are incarcerated for other reasons. 46% of these aliens have committed drug trafficking or other drug-related offenses, and another 25% have committed a variety of other violent criminal offenses, like rape. I don't need to remind anyone here of the ever-increasing number of cases of young American women who have been raped and murdered by illegal aliens in this country. Every crime committed by someone present illegally is a preventable crime. Illegal aliens impose enormous social welfare costs on the country, receiving between 84 and 94 billion more in government benefits and services than they pay in taxes. All of these things disadvantage low and middle income Americans disproportionately. And to add insult to injury, our current DEI regime ensures that a leg up will be given to foreign-born candidates when they come into direct competition with native-born Americans, and most especially, though not exclusively, native-born whites.
That's who they're protecting. Rapists, murderers. Wonder how that aligns with God's word. I don't think it does. Just don't. But we've been lied to religiously. We've been lied to. I'm in my 50s. For as long as I've been alive, I've been lied to about Jesus and God. The propaganda that has been pushed on Americans is nauseating. But let's take a real good look at one of the people that Tom Homan arrested. I think it was last night. He had Dr. Phil was with him. Dr. Phil was on a ride-along. And this man from Thailand, of course, he's lying the whole time he's talking, because that's what they do. I always tell you know how illegal alien, you know when I know illegal alien's lying? His lips are moving. It's truth. 24 years experience, 100,000 arrest, directly and indirectly. Say that with complete confidence. When do I believe an illegal alien? Never. That's the truth. The best I'm going to get is some half-truth. Something with some, maybe 5 words are truthful, if they can even articulate in that way. But let's listen to this guy. Dr. Phil finally gets to it through Tom Homan. Why is this guy being arrested? He seems like a good young man. Let's find out.
What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? Do you have a first and last name?
Sam.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You've been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
B&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged for it.
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom says it.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
We Dr. Phil. We got Dr. Phil.
Yeah?
He was deported before. That's why they were there. He was deported because he's a child rapist. I accidentally had Logan cut that off just too short. He's a child rapist. It's all right. He just likes to rape young kids. What's wrong with that? Catholic Church does it. $5 billion worth of raping children. So you can understand why what's this guy? He's just going to rape, 5, maybe 10 kids. That's not that big a deal, right? God, we have priests that did it to about 1,000 kids. There were thousands of kids raped. No big deal. That's who Catholic Charities through the Catholic Church is covering for. Absolutely. As that Karen said in the little PSA for all the illegals, you don't have to do anything. You could just stand there. And don't worry, the Border Patrol agent will just leave. I'm not leaving. When I leave, I'm leaving with somebody or somebodies. And as Karen comes out, as they all do, excuse me, Miss Karen, I'm going to let you know if you come anywhere near my personal space or the personal space of the people I'm arresting, you will be in violation of the law. You'll be impeding, and I'm going to arrest your big fat ass as well. That usually got them to shake up into reality, especially when I pulled my cuffs out and said, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Why don't you sit there? Why don't you call your bishop? The bishop's probably sitting at his dining room table with his stupid hat on, and his chef is making his food. The maids have already left. His driver's gone home for the night, and somebody's probably washing all his clothes, and he's getting a manicure and pedicure. And you just tell that bishop. Well, what kind of bishop would that be? Logan, can you pull up the bishop that I sent you that aside from Kyle Seraphin? Kyle Seraphin is a former FBI agent, and he has his own show now, and he's Catholic. I didn't know this. I just saw his post. And I just want you to, if you can pull that up, I'm going to pull mine up on my side so I just want to read it to you, okay? And this is Pope, right? I mean, this is not a Pope. Okay, I just want you to understand something. As a Catholic, I hate this. I hate this to the core of my being. You see how stupid this guy looks with his shepherd's cane and his beautiful ring and his beautiful gold-laid robe and that stupid hat. This, people, this is the Pharisees of today. If Jesus Christ came down and he would gather all his disciples and say, you see this guy? This is what you are never, ever supposed to look like. Don't you ever put on a clown's outfit like that and walk around with a staff looking like you're better than everyone. You're going to have a sackcloth on with a leather belt, some sandals, and that's it. Now go out there and take care of the poor. You think this guy's taking care of the poor? Let me read to you what they said. I think this is Texas in Austin. Yeah. So I'm going to quote you. I'm going to read this, okay, right off my phone. Quote, and this is what that man in that clown outfit was telling his priest at the local parish. They had to read this, saying, the diocese recognizes a country's right and responsibility to promote public order, safety, security through well-regulated borders, and just regulations on immigration. However, at the same time, all people have the moral obligation to refrain from denigrating any group of people, to provide human treatment, should be humane, but human treatment of the poor or others in need, and to deprive no individuals of protection under the law. Do you know how many poor people are destroyed by illegal aliens? Do you know what happens in those barrios in LA and Texas and Arizona? Well, you have rapists, murderers, and pedophiles, gang members, ripping those communities apart. Bishop Vasquez, in his stupid clown outfit, also believes that, like the Karen, that all these illegal aliens have rights just like U.S. citizens. Well, that's a lie. That's not what I learned. I did not learn that in Border Patrol Academy. If they're arrested for a crime other than being illegally in the country, like they commit murder or rape someone, will they get a public defender? Yeah. Will we have to read them the Miranda rights? Yep. Yep, and yep. Not much after that. Not much after that, people. you're getting no bond. You're not getting bailed. In Biden's day, you did, but in the real world of law enforcement and the real world of reality, no, you're a flight risk. You're not going anywhere. You're going to rot in Metropolitan Correctional Facility. That's it. You wait for your time, and then we find you guilty of your murder and rape. You're going to do that time in federal prison, and then we're going to deport you. The days of all this stupidity are gone. Everything that you crazy, moronic leftists, all that stuff you made us eat for 4 years is over. It's over. You can send out your priest or your bishops in the clown outfit with the stupid hats and his stupid shepherd cane with his beautiful gold ring on it. How many disciples do you think when Jesus sent them out 2 by 2 to go heal the sick and minister to Jesus' people, how many were wearing gold rings? Like top of the line gold ring. How many would you guess? Come on, I'm waiting. How many of the disciples had the finest linens on and were wearing the finest rings? You know it as well as I do. Zero. Don't think this is not connected. Don't think the Catholic Church and the religious organizations were not tied at the hip to our government. The same government, the same people that run our government that hate God, want to destroy God and country all at once. They don't want any connection. However, when they're committing crimes of treason, they get in bed together. Why is that? Why does religious leaders of all denominations get in bed with the government when they want to do bad things? That's a valid question that needs to be answered. You need to go to sat123.com/JJ. And that's a product that Logan, the producer, and I were talking about. It's called a Bivy, B-I-V-Y, and it attaches to your cell phone. And you use that and give that to a loved one, and you have constant communication. Cell towers go down, you have it, you can communicate with each other. I'm getting one. We were just talking about all the stuff that is on sat123.com. And I just must have missed it. I was so focused on the ballistic vest and the generators that I just missed it. I know they talked to me about it, and then Logan said, "You ever see this thing? Everyone loves these." I was like, "What is that?" I started looking. I look at the how to use it videos, subscription based, but you're covered. You're not worried about cell towers going down. You're not worried about them melting in the Pacific Palisades or getting washed away on some torrential downpour hurricane in the mountains. You see how absurd this is we're talking about? Because you will always have contact because it's bouncing off the satellites. Go to sat123.com/JJ. It is worth it. You will spend some time on that website looking at all their products and reading the reviews and watching the how-to videos. Great company. Sat123.com. I also want you to go to Pet Club 247, Pet Club 247, and you go to truthwithjj247.com. Here's the 3 products I use. I use this every day. I take it. It is my mushroom in pill form. Helps my immune system because my immunity is shot, especially in the cold weather months. I use it for me. My dog, Cinnamon, gets Mojos, which are the all-natural dog treats with the mushroom inside of it. So my little Cinnamon is getting her immune system taken care of as well as mine. And the third thing I use their balm on my hands because it is freezing cold right now. Even in California, I need something because it's so dry. But in Kansas, it has been freezing cold. And your hands get chapped. So you use the balm. The owners, Kurt and Kristen, will be on our show on Thursday. I love talking to them. A beautiful Christian couple and family that own this company. And they believe that God, shockingly, God created the earth and put everything that we need on the earth. God didn't wait for Moderna to come around or Pfizer to give us what we need. He already put it on earth. And this is a company that found some of it to help us natural, all natural. Our foods are poison. I just saw a quick clip on Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies have metals in them. How in God's name are there metals in Girl Scout cookies? There's plastics in our food. Do you know the only thing of all my videos that I post, birthright citizenship, illegal aliens, treason, traitors, my books that I write, my documentaries, child sex trafficking, numerous videos on child sex trafficking, unfortunately. Do you know the only thing that got me strikes on YouTube? Ask Logan. Because we couldn't figure it out. We're like, oh, they're going after for talking about child sex trafficking, raping children, whatever. They got no. You know what I got a ding for twice, going on 3 times, is that I said there were plastic in the food. They said, no, you can't say that because that's not true. No, actually, that's true. It's been documented. Plastics are in our food and our waters. Metals in our food and our waters. Huh? Yep. Only thing YouTube goes after me for. I'm shocked. I thought I'd be already dead in YouTube world. Like they would have vaporized me already. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know what is dead? Absolutely dead on arrival? DEI. Diversity, equity, inclusion. I have an article that, can you pull that up for me? From the Gateway Pundit. It's titled "The End of Woke: President Trump to Ban Transgender Service Members and Eliminate DEI Programs in the Military." Pete Hegseth is now in a position to eviscerate this insanity. Look at that. Look at that dude. Look at that mental patient. He was in charge of our health. What? He's obese. The dude's wearing a dress. The dude thinks that he needs tampons, and he's in charge of my health care? He's in charge of anything? I don't want him in charge of picking up my trash. Why is this important? Why is it important for Trump to get these people out of our military? Well, JJ, there's just a few of them. No. Try 15,000. Why do you think Pete Hegseth is so adamant that he does not want them in the military? Why does all the war fighters not want them in the military? Because those men have been in war, and the stressors of war are unbelievable. Dead bodies, the smells, the sights, the sounds. Your buddies are being blown up. You're getting blown up. You're having to kill people. And then you are right next to you. The guy that is supposed to be in charge of you and your life and being your backup doesn't know if he is a man or a woman. He thinks that she can be pregnant. He actually has tampons in his backpack. On his off time in Afghanistan, as he likes to wander around the desert, he likes to wear 3-inch heels and very, very skin-tight red dresses. You don't want anyone like that having your back. Why? Because that person should be in a hospital getting intensive psychiatric help instead of validating their sickness by clapping your hands like seals and saying, so brave. You're so brave. Look at what you've done. You cut off your genitals. That's so brave. It's amazing. I know you're going to kill yourself in about 2 or 3 years because you can't have sex anymore. You can't enjoy anything. You're just confused now. In about 3 years, you'll come out of it. But I'm sorry. Everything's gone. You got a gaping hole there now. Literally, that's what they call it. The transgender women, whatever, the men, they say, I just have a hole there. Oh, but you enjoy sex, don't you? No. It's painful. I'm constantly have all kinds of problems down there. It's a gaping wound. No one wants to talk about this, right? So you want a guy that has a pain in his groin, that has gone through immense amount of psychological trauma, is on just beyond your imagination on hard narcotic because of the pain and suffering and mental anguish. And you're going to put that ticking time bomb next to me when I'm going to war? No. I'm opting out of that. I'm out. Sorry. Or let's just have a gigantic transgender group, a regiment, and let's send them in all at once. First group people in, not the Marines, send in the transgenders. It's all ending. I'm going to show you a video right now. Pull up this, This is the Air Force. This is about, Logan, I think we're going to play that for about an hour, a minute and minute 04. But this is a female. And listen to what she's saying as she goes through. Now understand, this person is in the Air Force. They're supposed to be preparing to go to war and protect America. But this long 2, 3 year process of churning this person from a young woman to a man, you're paying for it. And it's one less military person on the battlefield. And they're never going to get back on the battlefield because they have massive trauma, massive physical trauma, and unbelievable massive emotional and spiritual trauma. They're destroyed. This young woman, I'm sure, lopped off her breast. And here we are, 4 years of just sitting there applauding mental illness. Go ahead and show this, Logan, please.
This is going to be a bit of a longer video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Emmett. I'm a transgender man in the United States military, specifically the Air Force, but I don't think that's too important. I am pre-op, pre-T, but not for long. Let me explain. So, in the Air Force, right, if you're a trans member wanting to transition, you meet with your mental health provider, and they put together like a package, a bunch of paperwork to send you to Texas. Now, why Texas? I'm sure you guys have all seen the bills that have been proposed. Texas doesn't seem the most friendly for, transgender individuals. However, in San Antonio, there's a base with a really, really nice clinic on it, and that's where the transgender headquarters are called. It's called THEMU. It's an acronym. So basically what you do is you do a TDY. That means temporary duty. So they send you from your current duty station to Texas to have a bunch of appointments. About this is back in May when I had my initial meeting with my mental health provider, they said that it was medically necessary for me to transition. Basically, I got diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and they're like, yep, this needs to happen.
What the medical provider should have done is said, you are medically discharged from the military. Not honorable. You can't be honorable when you're a mental patient. We're not going to dishonorably discharge you. We're just going to discharge you. We'll create a whole new category of insane transgender. We'll make it, I don't even care what it is. Get them out. Get her out. Get her out. I don't want her in my army. I don't want her look, man, I got a nephew that's in the military. What if my son wants to go in 5 years? That he's got to, God forbid, that person becomes in a leadership position, which we've all seen them in leadership positions, and they are now making decisions with heavy narcotics in their system, hormones that are just running wild in their bodies. And I'm expecting my son's life to hang in the balance of somebody that is heavily medicated with hard narcotics because they lopped their breast off or have some gaping hole where their penis and their testicles used to be. And I'm supposed to feel safe at home for my son Supposed to feel safe at home as we go into war fighting with the Russians and the Chinese? Do you think Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping has any transgender people in their army? Or do you think he has stone cold killers? I'm going to say stone cold killer. Not us. I know I've showed the video of this mental patient. But I think I need to show it again. I saw it and I was like, we've shown this before. I don't care. We need to see it again. This is what's in your military, America. You feel good. You like it. There's 15,000 of these whack jobs. Go ahead, Logan, play this guy.
Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering, like literally cannot be more thankful to be alive now.
Well, the reason why that person is so excited to be in the military, and she just let off probably easily $50,000, $70,000, $100,000, $200,000 worth of surgeries and treatment, because you're paying for it. I just was watching that. I was thinking, what if I was her superior? Holy, that dude would be gone. I'd make his life so miserable. He would I'm out. Just get me out of here. What does it look like in real life? Here's a picture. Let this burn into your eyeballs. Look at this. Now, I want you to think of a Russian, a straight up alpha male Russian. You know what I'm talking about. Big, strong, burly dude, big, strong jaw, unafraid. This is like, screw it, I'm going to die anyway. I'm going to take these freaks out with me. Who do you think is going to win on the battlefield? 15,000 of these things, or the Russian? What about the Chinese? Atrocities of the Chinese. Can you imagine what they're going to do to these type of people? Can you imagine if they're not even killed, or they just have a heart attack from fear? But let's say they're captured. Do you think they're not going to do experiments on these people? They're one of a kind. They're unicorns. Look at him. He's a unicorn. Why are they so ugly too? Can I ask that question? Why is the transgender community so grotesquely ugly? Physically, just physically ugly. I'm not talking about their inner being. Their inner being so screwed up. I can't even imagine the pain they go through in their mind. And I don't care if you like me or you don't. This is the truth. We all need to talk like this. We can't be like, well, they're people too. And no. You've changed the whole entire structure of American society to make this normal. I will not let you walk this back and just say, well, you know what, we needed to be. No. You've changed everything. You've made Americans have to believe that these people are not crazy. And you are crazy. You're a bigot for saying it. 5 years ago, this was a mental disease that needs to be eradicated in the AMA, the American Medical Association, the AMA. Now we celebrate it. Now we say this dude with a bad perm and bad skin, we need to give this idiot 2 flags and say, yeah, he's a warfighter. Go ask the Navy SEALs. Go ask the Rangers. Go ask any Marine platoon. Hey guys, I got you a couple transgenders for you. Yeah, okay. Sure. That's going to last. Thank the Lord for Donald Trump. After seeing transgenders and talking about this stupidity, I need a My Pillow. MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com, promo code JJ. You have to take a nap after this because you're absolutely living in the twilight zone. Absolute twilight zone. MyPillow.com, sheets, towels, slippers, you name it, I got it in my house times 10. And Mike Lindell's a great story. MyPillow.com. And I also want to say before, gosh, I got 6 minutes left, Logan. It's going by so fast. Swiss American Precious Metals. Swiss America Precious Metals. Stock market down 2% today. 2%. That's billions of dollars. Lost. Yes, it will come back up. Trump's going to make sure this is all going to go well, but we're going to go through economic challenges in the next year or two. Because to unravel the mess and root out the traitors out of our government is going to be painful. There are going to be massive, massive hurdles and challenges to overcome. I do believe Trump will get us back, but it's going to be contentious. So you need to diversify. Go to Swiss America Precious Metals. You just call or text Wes Peters. 800-254-5904. 5904. Just text Wes. Wes will send you a brochure. You guys can talk on the phone or talk through text. No high pressure sales. You're not buying a condominium in Barbados that you can see once every 17 years and it's going to cost you $1 billion. And that's not how this is. What do you need? What do you want to accomplish? Okay, this is what I think you should do. Call me back when you're ready. Okay, great. Swiss American Precious Metals. Call Wes, tell him that JJ sent you. I want to end on a very high note. And I can't imagine any higher note than all of those 8,000 plus servicemen that were removed from service because they would not take the jab and infect their body with the vaccine. Let's play this. I got, I think, a minute and a half. Let's show this, Logan, please.
Thousands of U.S. troops with full pay after they were kicked out of the military for refusing a COVID vaccine during the Biden administration. This is welcome news for our next guest who introduced the bill, fighting for this very cause almost 2 years ago. Retired Army Ranger, Republican Congressman from the beautiful state of Florida, Brian Mast, joins us right now. Brian, good morning to you.
Good to see you.
Well, Congressman, this is great news. Trump said he was going to do this. And ultimately, 8,000 men and women who got kicked out with this mandate by Joe Biden, they can go back. They can get their job at the rank, back pay, same pay. This is a great day for them.
Great day for patriots, great day for our service members, my brothers and sisters in arms. And let's not forget, you go back in time, and it wasn't just the military, it was other government agencies as well, where they were washing essentially conservatives that were raising their hands saying, hey, I don't want to take this vaccine. They were washing them out of government, washing them out of West Point and Naval Academy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine Academies, washing them out from being on the next promotion boards for first sergeants, sergeants majors, or officers. And they were creating a system where the ones that were going to be giving promotion to the next classes of individuals were all going to be those that didn't say, no, I'm not a conservative and you know, I'm okay with everything that you're doing right now. That's what was taking place.
It will be interesting to see how
Donald Trump just moving. He's moving, getting things done. Look what he did. I'm going to skip and go to the Columbia article, Logan, because this is fascinating to me. I watched this play out in real time. Was Donald Trump takes 2 airplanes and flies them into Colombia. Colombia will not allow them to land because they have criminally illegal aliens. And then the socialist dictator there in Colombia mocks Trump and says, we're not taking them. Trump is on the golf course. On the golf course. And he goes, okay, we're going to start out with 25% tariffs, and we're going to go to 50% like in a day. And then I'm revoking all of your visas, all of them, all your student visas, all your diplomatic visas. I'm removing everything. All of it's gone. You're out. And if you want to sell anything to us, add 25, 50% to it. Again, America needs no one. No one. And everyone needs America. We need to start acting like that. And guess what the Colombian president does? Yes, sir, Mr. Trump. Not only am I going to allow you to bring these savages back into my country, I'm going to send my plane to pick them up. I don't want you to burn any gas, sir. That's winning. That's winning. You know what else is winning? Mexico, the president that tries to be like she's tough, has come out and said, yeah, we're going to take, this is what I heard directly from senior level Border Patrol agent. The country of Mexico is going to take back Hondurans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorians, Costa Ricans, Cubans, and Venezuelans. We don't have to fly them back there. You're just going back to Mexico where you came. That's powerful. And then next week, they're going to add some more nations into that grouping that they're going to have to take. Donald Trump's winning. Whatever you're hearing on the news, whatever you left-wing media is telling you, I'm telling you, on every front, he's winning. When it comes to immigration, he is dominating. He's dominating. The border is completely shut. No one's crossing. No one is crossing. I'm seeing videos from my friends sending me that all the Mexican nationals and Hondurans, they're leaving on their own. All their belongings stacked up. Trump always asks that question. Are you tired of winning? No, man. I'm not tired of winning. I want to go 4 years nonstop, day after day after day of winning.